All right, so Happy Gilmore Part 2 was announced. And Kevin hit me up and he was like, I want to talk to you about something you said on the radio in the past. So we'll give it a shot. Who cares? Kevin, let me know what it was. You started off.
All right. So, if any of the long-time Robin Lumberg OGs are watching this, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it popped into my brain as soon as the announcement came out that we were getting a Happy Gilmore 2. Robin was having a conversation on air, and another co-host of the Michael K. Show, Don LaGreca, brought up a conversation that he had with Robin, and Robin had the nerve to say that Happy Gilmore is better than The Godfather. And you could collectively hear in the background half of New York City's head explode.
Well, first of all, I would like you as a sponsor also, Blue Diamond Almonds, to go with Polar Seltzer. But I mean, better is a loaded term. I'm not saying, objectively it's a better film than The Godfather, right? Like The Godfather stands the test of time and all that. Great movie, objectively great movie, whatever. But what would I rather watch? Happy Gilmore, which to me makes it a better movie. I mean, I don't like, the whole point of a movie is to watch it. And I've only seen The Godfather once. I almost watched the Godfather trilogy as a chore because it was like, all right, I've got to see this since everybody's talked about it. And I made myself watch it and it was fine. It didn't really do anything for me. Kind of boring. I'm not into the mob movies. I don't get it. And as much as I like rap music and stuff, and I get it, like you go back to Only Built for Cuban Links and all the mafioso ties that are in all those songs. And even like, Scarface is no good either. But Razor Ramon's entire character, Scarface is terrible. But dude,
are you insane, Robin? That is
so
one
cheesy.
of the greatest films ever made, and you should never be allowed 100 feet close to a movie theater after saying something like that.
I've seen Happy Gilmore probably 50 times. So
Robin, I've eaten at Burger King a lot more times than I've eaten at Ruth Chris. That doesn't mean that I would prefer a Whopper over a Ruth Chris steak.
Except for there are other factors at play there, like the cost of said thing. If you had both of them available on your streaming service. So if you had at the same price point, you could have Ruth Chris or Burger King. What are you choosing?
Of course I'm choosing Ruth Chris.
Okay, so to you, Ruth Chris is better than Burger King. So to me, I have Godfather and Happy Gilmore. It's not a premium on the Godfather. I don't have to pay more. I mean, I'm sure I don't have it I'm sure it's available. I can get it. And I would choose to watch Happy Gilmore. I'm not even saying I want a Happy Gilmore 2, by the way. Like, I don't know, some movies maybe don't need a sequel, but it's so rewatchable. It's so delightful. It's so funny. It's so quotable. All those things. And I've also developed a bit of a bias against those movies because Scorsese and what he said about all the Marvel movies. Like, he really came across holier than thou. Like, what's so much more artsy about a mob movie? Like, oh, I'm going to shoot you under the table because you broke the family code. Like, oh, that's real human emotion versus, Iron Man saying, I love you 3,000.
Robin, Scorsese's movies have some of the greatest performances and actors in them on a repeated basis. Now, I'm not going to come over here and bash Marvel movies because I'm a Marvel fan as well. I love probably more so the like the X-Men stuff, not the MCU stuff, but even though I do love the MCU stuff as well. Mm-hmm. But to sit there and just bash one of the greatest filmmakers of all time's filmography is just insane to me.
I didn't bash it. I just said it's not my cup of tea. I don't think his comments were necessary. But you're telling me like Ben Stiller wasn't great in Happy Gilmore? Shooter McGavin wasn't great in Happy Gilmore? Like, their movie, I think John Goodman should have got an Oscar for his performance in The Big Lebowski. All these movies, the performances are relative to that. And when you talk about Marvel movies, if it wasn't for the performance of Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, you would not have the success of the Marvel movies. I mean, that is an all-time great performance as well.
It is an all-time great performance, man, because if he wasn't so good at it, he wouldn't have been Iron Man for 20 years, basically. But it's like to compare these performances to like Marlon Brando's in The Godfather, Al Pacino's in The Godfather, even somebody like James Caan's performance in The Godfather. It's just blasphemous, to quote one great Stephen A. Smith. It is blasphemous, Mr. Lumberg.
Did Scorsese do The Departed?
He did.
I like The Departed. That's my favorite Martin Scorsese movie. I like it, everything about that except for Jack Nicholson. He's a little over the top in that movie.
That's like the least Scorsese type Scorsese movie that he's made. It is a phenomenal film, though. And
that movie's hard. Maybe that's why I like it, because it's not as, like, no family, like Michael, like all that stuff. It's got a little bit of beat to it.
This guy. I hope he watches this and becomes a WWR member strictly to troll you in the comments.
Oh, if Martin Scorsese, just like everybody else, is welcome to join the WWR, and whatever else he wants. He can make a movie. He can make the documentary. Look, again, this is all fun and games, and I appreciate Happy Gilmore because it's just a fun movie. Again, so many quotable. Oh, Happy learned how to putt. Like all those things that you can reference and have fun with. I'm not saying Martin Scorsese is a bad filmmaker or any of those movies are bad. Objectively speaking, he's an absolute legend, and I'm not going to get it twisted to besmirch him. I just thought his comments about Marvel were a little tacky, considering, the Marvel movies have had success for a reason. Chris Hemsworth just came out and said it more or less like, oh, so all of these people are wrong all the time, right? Like, and there are different flavors that you can choose from. There are different things that please different people. So to dismiss it, the art form in total, to me, is what rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, because the guy's gotten the same actors to do the same roles in the same type of movies, every movie he's ever made, no?
Yeah, but those are all-time greats. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm defending Scorsese for those comments, because I agree with you. If you watch the MCU movies, they're really different from, each movie. I feel like Winter Soldier is kind of like a spy espionage type film, and parts of the Doctor Strange films, they have elements of horror. So it's not like this copy and paste thing that they make every single movie the same and people just eat it up. There is a lot of diversification in their films, and I do disagree with Scorsese then. I mean, just think about a film like The Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Where it just tugs on your emotional heartstrings and it's all the chemistry that the whole cast has. I mean, that's one of those movies that I feel like, even if you're not into superhero films, that's a movie that anybody can enjoy.
And I would argue what Marvel did is the most ambitious thing ever done in film, to create that continuity and that story that is shared between movies.
For sure. I mean, there has to be something to be said that all these other studios like DC and even Sony with their Marvel properties, and I don't know if you remember Universal, they tried to do this monster type universe as well. Everybody has failed to do what the MCU has done. So to me, that just shows you how hard it is to do, because nobody else has been able to replicate it.
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes you got to stay in your lane, unless you're a this Scorsese cinematic universe could work, or you're a hockey player who wants to become a golfer.